conducting this session. So over to you, Shravani.
Good afternoon, everyone. My voice is audible.
Yes, yes, it's audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Shravani. I am also a third year student and competitive programming expert at PVGCOET GDSC. So yeah, as Rasika said, you'll be having your own portfolio website at the end of the session. So let's start. Yeah. So as she said, we will be building our website using HTML and CSS. So how many of you know HTML? Like, can you say yes or no in the chat box? Yes, if you know, if you don't know. Okay. So many people know what is HTML. So yeah, but still I'll be giving a quick introduction about HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is a standard language which is used for creating web pages. HTML basically describes the structure of web page. So whenever you open any website, it's basically a basic HTML page. Okay, so there are various tags and labels in HTML. So heading tag, paragraph tag, etc. So and HTML tells the browser how to exactly display your content. Next. Okay. So the in the basics of HTML, what is an HTML element? Um an HTML element basically defines by a start tag, some content, and then an end tag. So a start tag is between two uh, brackets, and then the content goes, and then there is an end tag. So every HTML tag and will be has a closing tag and opening tag, and some of them don't have a closing tag, but whatever content goes, it goes inside your tags in the HTML. Next. Yeah, this is about attributes in HTML. So all HTML elements can have attributes. They basically provide additional information about your elements. Attributes are always specified with the help of a start tag, and they usually come with pairs values like name, then its value. An example is given of google.com, and then hello world is given. So yeah, this is basically attributes. Next. Oh yeah. So whenever we open an HTML page or start writing any HTML code, then we start it with a doc type document. After which we write the meta tags. So this is meta tag means information about your data. Now this is completely optional, but it's a good practice to write this. It provides information about your HTML documents, or in simple words, it provides important information about your document. So I'll be explaining each one. So what is charset UTF-8? So charset defines the character encoding of the whole page, and UTF-8 means the value must be valid. So if it's not valid, it won't be displayed. If it's valid, it's displayed. Now the HTTP equivalent XUA, that the next line, it basically defines the meta rules of the web page. So it defines the link to the web page, and XUA compatible means it defines Internet Explorer version of the web page that it should render to. The next one, that is viewport and content. Viewport is basically defines the dimension and scaling of your page. It's an additional information which is given to the web page. Then width, height, initial scale is given, which helps to initialize the scale of your HTML page. So sometimes when you're doing complex codes and you don't include meta tag, then sometime it might happen that there's like there's some defect in the alignment of your page. So it's always better to include them. So yeah, now next one. To make every HTML page attractive, we use CSS, that is Cascading Style Sheet. So whenever you see a web page, it's not just a plain web page always. We'll always find color to it, some style is given, etc. So basically, that is what CSS is. It describes how HTML element are to be displayed on the screen, paper, or media. CSS saves a lot of work. It can also control the layout of multiple pages. External CSS sheets are stored in CSS files. So the file extension should be .css to save any CSS content. And you should link it to your HTML page. Next. Oh, there may be various ways to insert CSS. The three types are external CSS, internal CSS, and inline CSS. So what does an external CSS does? So it's an external style sheet. You can change the look of the entire website by just changing that one file, that is the CSS. Each HTML page must include a reference, that is the link. Internal CSS is a style sheet that may be used in one single HTML page and has its unique style. Inline CSS. Inline CSS may be used to apply an unique style for a single element. It is like whenever you write a tag or element, you give CSS besides it. So according to me, the best practice is using external CSS so that the readability of the code increases. And yeah, it is always preferred for big codes and stuff like that. Next. So CSS has this particular syntax. So the selector point, as it's shown in the figure, the selector point to the HTML element that you want to give the CSS to. Suppose you want to give CSS to the heading tag, then H1. So declare a block content of one or more declarations which are separated by semicolon. So you can give various CSS to a particular element, like you can change its color, font size, etc., etc. You can just style it, underline it, various things. So each declaration includes a CSS property, name, and value, which are separated by semicolon. Multiple CSS declarations are separated with semicolons and blocks surrounded by curly braces. So this is the basic syntax. So CSS helps you save a lot of time. There are also a few frameworks built on CSS, such as Tailwind CSS and stuff like that. But this basic CSS will help you a lot. Over to you, Rasika.
Yes, thank you, Shravani. So let's move on to the coding. I'm sure everybody is curious about the coding part itself. So, as Shravani explained the importance of the meta tag, I have just typed just a little code of HTML here so that to not waste time in this. So, nothing much. I have just added the HTML tag, then the HTML tag itself, and in the head tag, I have added three tags, three meta tags. There's a title tag. So what the title tag basically does is it gives the title to your website, nothing much. Then there are some links I have added, and I'll come to the links later. First of all, I want all of you to do one thing. I want you to open your VS Code, and I'm assuming everybody has installed it in your PCs. So I want you to open your VS Code and to create a new folder and name it portfolio or anything you want. And just let me know when you have a section. Since this is a hands-on section, hands-on session, you'll be doing all the coding alongside me. So you need your editor ready. So just open VS Code and create a new folder. I'll wait for 2 minutes. Let's see. You can just type done. Okay. Some people have done it. Vaishnavi, I asked for a portfolio folder, so only portfolio will do. Done, done. There are Q&A. Okay, so many of you have done it. Let's move forward. So in that brand new folder, what I want you to do is go to this extensions. Look at the screen. You will find that on the left panel, there's a symbol called extensions. Click on it and just type HTML as I have already. So see, it will be blank at first. When you type HTML, you'll get a lot of extensions. So go to this second one which says CSS support, and I have already installed it. So you will see an install button here. Just go ahead and click the install button. It won't take much time, just 5 minutes maximum, and it will get installed in your laptop in the VS Code editor. So once you've done that, just let me know again in the comments. Done. Okay. The extension doesn't take time to get installed if you have connection. So yeah, many of you are writing done. So I'm assuming it is installed. So now let us go to the coding part. Okay. So if you are in this folder, then all you have to do is create a file. So here you can see a symbol called new file. You can just click on that and type in index.html. So I've already created the index.html file. So I won't be creating it again. But yeah, you have to just click on this new file and name it index.html. Just let me know in the comments after you have created the file. Just write created so that I'll know the difference. Okay, great. All right. Many of you have created. All right. So for because we have time constraints, so I won't be making you write all of this code. We have hosted it on Git. We have not hosted. We have just uploaded it on GitHub. So I'm sharing a link. Click on the link, and you'll be able to see the code, the completed code of the website. You just have to copy paste the head portion. Like here is the code, here's the link, what you'll see after going on that link. So just copy paste this much till the head. And after you have done it, just paste it in your index.html file like I have, and let me know in the comments. Just say copied or something like that. All right, Vaishnavi has copied it. Atharva has copied it. Okay. Okay. Great. So let's move on. So since you have copied till the end of the head tag, I guess you'll have to add a ending HTML tag. So just type in one angular bracket slash and HTML. So as to close this HTML tag which we have opened in the second line. After you've done that, I'll explain what this title means. So basically we have opened a tag named title and we have typed in my portfolio and then close the title tag. So this title basically is the name of the website. So what I'll do is I'll go in the folder in which I have created all these. Open this index.html in my browser. So I already have it open. I'll show you. Yeah, so this is my website as of now because I haven't added any code, any CSS in it. So basically, it's just a blank white page. But here you can see the title of this web page is my portfolio, as we have given in the HTML code. It's by mistake portfolio. Will just replace it by portfolio. And as soon as I do this and refresh, see. So the of my web page now is correctly my portfolio. So just do till this step and let me know if you are able to read on your browser. Just type in yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. Can you show it again? Okay. Which part do you want me to show it again, Akash? Okay. What part should I repeat? My portfolio is not coming. Where I went to the website. Okay, okay, no problem. So, okay, I'm in my VS Code. I have created a folder. I have created one file called index.html as of now, and I have added this small snippet of code. Now, what I'll do is I'll right click on the index.html and I'll say open with okay, it's not showing for me. Maybe it will for you, but let's just go to reveal in File Explorer. Okay, so if I do reveal in File Explorer, it will show me the folder in my PC where I've created that particular file. And if I just double click on it, on the index named file, if I just double click, it will open the HTML page in browser. But I already have it open, so I guess it will get open twice. Yeah. So you just have to double click on it and it will open in your default browser. If it's Chrome, then it will open in Chrome. If it's Microsoft Edge, then it will open in Microsoft Edge. I hope this part is clear. Okay, I will go a little bit slow. Don't worry. Samarth, sure. So I have posted a link box and what you have to do is you have to open that link and you will see this particular page after opening the link. So you just have to copy this snippet of the code till the ending of the head tag. You just have to copy and then open your VS code and paste it in the HTML file index.html. You just have to paste that particular part of code. Is that clear? Okay, done. Okay, Tejas, what should I explain again? It, okay, should I show the code again? Yeah, this is the code. You don't have to type in the code because, just a moment. I have provided you the link. You can just copy paste it. Make sure you okay, so after you create this file, make sure that you save it. So if I make any change, you'll see that there's this one white dot coming on the tab, so it means that you have not saved the particular file. So just press control S and it will get saved and then the changes will be reflected in your browser. I hope everybody is comfortable with this much. What do we have to do after pasting? So you just have to save the file and then open index.html in your browser. Visible now. Okay, cool. All right, so I guess we should move on now. If you are having any doubts, then just post it in the Q&A and somebody from our team will solve it. Don't worry. So next what we'll do is, now we have the head of our HTML page and we have the title. We have this link which basically connects the fonts of Google API. So basically when we are writing something in our web page, on our web page, so we need a particular font or something like that, like to for it to look good. So we have just imported these fonts so that we can use them later in our web page. You don't have to focus much on that, you can just copy paste it for now. And then the most important part comes here. Okay, so just focus right now. If something is not working in your website, we can solve it later. For now, look on the screen. So I have added one more tag, which is the link tag. What this does is it will link one link I'll provide to our web page basically. So rel basically it's an attribute of the link tag, and it's a type of a style sheet. So why it is a style sheet? Because we are giving the href as style.css. So as Shravani said, we'll be using the external css for this particular portfolio website. So the href basically means the reference link which we are trying to import in our html web page. So what is that particular reference link? It is nothing but the css cascading style sheet, right? So that style sheet is as you can see, sorry, as you can see that I have created one more file in the same folder, and I have named it style.css. So I have done, what I have done is I have told my html page that okay, you do one thing. We need some kind of styling to look to make our web page look attractive, so we need some css. So what we'll do is we'll just import a file which will contain all the css properties for our web page. So for that, this is the particular syntax for importing the CSS file into our HTML page. So the href basically it means that we are providing the relative path of the file which we are importing. Now, what do I mean by relative path? Basically, we have this CSS file stored somewhere. Now we have to tell our HTML page, okay, go fetch that particular file, but we have to tell that where that particular file is stored, right? So since I have created the css file in the same folder, this is the only path required as of now. So basically what you have to do is create one more file. Just create on click on new file and type style.css, and then your style.css file will be successfully imported in your HTML page. And after you have created the style.css file, just let me know in the comment section. Done. All right. So let's move ahead. Yeah. So this line basically means that we have just imported the style sheet which we created here. Now what we'll do is we'll move ahead with the body of the HTML page. So we are done with the head. We have the heading, we have the css imported, we have the fonts imported, everything. Now what we have to do is we have to make this blank sheet which is appearing here. We need some writing or portfolio basically on it, right? So we'll just start with the body of the html page. For that I'll write one angular bracket, the body tag, and close the angular bracket. So we have installed that IntelliSense extension, so it will automatically write a closing tag for me. If it's not writing for you, then make sure that you yourself manually write this closing tag, because tag needs to be closed. So let's just write the body tag here. After I've created a body tag, what I'll do is, just because we have time constraints, I'll be copy pasting small snippets of the code, and you have to do the same, but I'll explain every single part of the code, every single line, so don't worry about it. Just because we have time constraint, I won't be typing everything out. So let's just go to the link which we opened earlier. Then what I'll do is just copy paste the first section tag from opening to closing. I'll copy it and come back in my html file and just paste it inside my body tag. So just let me know after you are completed doing this, and please remember, after every change you make in the file, don't forget to save it, because it will only be reflected in your browser if you save the file, or else it will just show you the blank page which we see right now. So if you want to see the changes, make sure that you save the file. So just copy paste the first section part inside the body tag and let me know if you are done with it. Just type copied or something. Copied. Okay. Okay. Yeah, most of you have done it. So I'll explain the code now. Listen carefully. So first of all, we have created a section. Okay. So what this section is, that it creates a section on the web page for us. So we'll be writing all the writings, like our name and our information, whatever we have in our portfolio. So we'll be creating different sections for the literal different sections of our portfolio. Like we have a experience section, that then we have a section about our personal information. So like that we have named in HTML. So we'll be using that to create our section and portfolio. Uh, After that, I have created an attribute called class, and in the class I have given two classes. So basically this there is this one space between, that means these are two different classes. So one is top banner and the second is flexible container. So now you'll say, what are these classes, right? You don't know, we have never heard about it, so don't worry. These two are customized classes. So basically what we did was, we just imported the style sheet, right? And we said that okay, we'll be using it for decorating our page. So this is where the decoration basically starts. So we have to give a class name to particular tags of the HTML page, and then we can give the class name. And what this class name will do will come to it in the CSS part of the Okay, so I will be defining some properties to these particular classes, and it will be reflected in my HTML page itself. So I hope this is like clear. It may be a little bit confusing, but it will be clear once I start writing the CSS file. So let's move ahead. Then in that section, I have created a division, and again I have created one more class to decorate that particular division. Then after that, this is an h1 tag. So h1 basically in HTML, h1 means heading. There are six heading tags. So h1 is the largest tag. So we want a very large text in our the first text in our portfolio website. So we have used the h1 tag. And since this is a very generalized website, you can customize it later. We have just added a hello. Then after that, we have added one more h1 tag. And in that h1 tag, what we have done is, we have created one more tag called the span tag. Okay, so the span tag basically what it does is, it helps us decorate one particular part of the division, or one particular part of the section. So what I want is, I just want one text to be of a particular color, and the rest of the text to be of some other color in that division. So if I just define that okay, I should write in color white for this division, then everything, like all the text in that particular division, will be of the color white. But there's this one little part of text, like my name, which I want in some different color. So what should I do about it? I will just create a span tag, and I have again created a class for this particular span tag, and then I have added it in the h1. So this will be of another color, and I'll be showing it to you in the CSS part of the code. Then we have added some information about us, like what we do basically in a portfolio. What we do is, we mention our name, then we basically show off our skills, like, right? So these are the skills. And since the skills don't need to be as big as our name itself, so they are in h3 tag. So basically we have just added some skill set like full stack web developer, competitive programmer, AI and ML. So these are the technologies we are familiar with. That's why I've added just these technologies. You can add what is your area of expertise, anything that is there. So after that, there's this paragraph tag. Actually, it's of no use right now. We'll come to that later. Then we have added one more tag. Okay, so look at this carefully. This is an anchor tag. So basically, A means anchor, and what it does is we can link external links to this via anchor tag. So what happens is we have defined a class. Okay, this is just for the decoration part, nothing else. Then this target attribute basically means that where should we open the new link which we are creating right there. So what will happen is if we write the underscore blank value to the attribute, then it will open this particular link in a separate page in the web browser. But if I write self, then it will open in the same page. Now you will say, what is this same page and different page? So I'll show it to you in just a moment. Just keep that in mind that this blank means that it will open in a different tab. Then after that, I have also created one more division, and in that we usually add our own picture in our portfolio website, right? So again, given a specific class to that. And after that, just added one image of we have just taken a random image of a girl, but you have to add your own image in your own portfolio website. So this src means source. Src is short form for source. So now we have to give the source of the image, because it's stored somewhere in our local PC, right? And we have to display it on the web page. So it has to know where exactly that image is in your PC. So we have to give the path of the image where we have stored it. So basically, I have just created one more folder in that portfolio folder, and it's named the images, and I have added two images there. So one of them is my image, and I have just given the path to that particular image here. So what you can do is basically you can go to the link which I provided you earlier, and if you just type on this portfolio and then WebHunt, actually just type on the WebHunt portfolio. Yeah. So if you go the portfolio, there's this folder named images, right? So you can just click on the images and download these images for now, or you can just use some other images you have in your PC. No issues, you can literally use any image you want. But just make sure that in the portfolio folder you create one more folder. You have to name that folder images and just add some random image in it, and just let me know after you have done it. And even if you have any doubts, I'm here to clear them.
So give them same names so that while
Yeah,
linking it won't be a problem.
yeah, exactly. So I have given these two images the name img-2 and img hyphen my hyphen img. So just make sure that you create a folder named images, exactly the same name images, and add these two images in that particular folder. Just let me know after you have done it. You can type downloaded the image. Okay, just make a new folder named images and copy it in that particular folder. You can use any image you want in your PC also, but for reference we have just provided you with two images. How to download the image? Okay, so if you go on portfolio images, then my image, you can see that there's this download button. So if you click on that, it will get downloaded. I hope it's clear.
one question. What is top banner flexible container? So you, if you see the CSS file very carefully, the one which is on the GitHub, you'll see there are two function, or I've made top banner, which includes some CSS commands like background shouldn't be repeated, the border sizing. So basically, putting that, it won't, like, it would appear the same way as if written in the CSS file.
Yeah, we'll be going to the CSS part in just a bit. Just add the images for now, and then we'll start with the CSS coding. Let me know when you have just created the images folder. I'll wait for 2 minutes. Uh, Shubhankar, when you download the images, you just copy paste it in the folder like any other normal image. Okay, created images folder on desktop and pasted the image to in that folder. Okay, cool. Now you do one thing, just copy the images folder and just paste the whole folder in the portfolio folder which you created earlier. Uh, is everybody done with? Okay. Yes, Parth, it will be available. Just make sure that you pay attention to what we are teaching right now so that you can do it on your own also later. Okay, so should we move ahead? If anybody is stuck anywhere or having any issues, please feel free to just write them in the chat box. I'll solve them or any other person from our team. All right. What should we rename to new image? Okay, so yeah, see these are the names and make sure they are exactly the same like img hyphen 2 and my hyphen img. Even like the capital and small letters should match. Okay. So these are the two names of the images. Is it clear?
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm still stuck between copying of the HTML. Please still. Okay, okay, sure. Then move for. Let's move forward. Okay, I have after you have created the images folder and create added these two images, then this particular image will be imported in your HTML file. So now I have saved my file. Don't forget to save it. Control S and let's go and see how it looks on my browser. Just refresh the page. Okay. So I just pressed Control R. It refreshes the page basically, nothing else. And here I hope you are able to see my screen. So what you'll see is what we typed just now. Hello, then my name, then the full stack web developer, competitive programmer, and the skills basically. Then here's a find me and the image which we just added, right? This is basically what we wrote, but now you'll say it's not at all pretty or attractive, and we want to make our web page attractive, right? But you'll notice we haven't added any css code yet as of now, right? So it's just plain non-attractive HTML code till now. So this is what we have added basically up till now, and you all should be able to see the same thing if you just go to your browser and refresh the page which you had opened. Just let me know if you are able to see it. Yes, yes, able to. Okay. Rugve, just make sure that the path to your image is correct one. And Prasad, no, we don't have to specify the extension. Himanshu, you too. Okay, image is not visible, right? So just make sure, guys, that you are just writing the exact same path in your src, and you are actually making the exact same folder. Like even if you have a capital I here, it won't work because it is case sensitive. So just make sure that the name of the folder is image, small everything, and then the name of the images is also exactly the same. Also, that images folder should be in your portfolio folder, which you created earlier. So if you are giving the path, then you should be able to see it. And if you're not seeing it, then it is definitely a part of the error of the path. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Sania is done pasting, and many of you are able to see the image also. So let us just move ahead. Whoever is not able to see your image, just make sure that the path is correct. Make sure that the images folder is inside the portfolio folder, and that the images folder contain exactly these two named images. You can pick any image, just rename it and just give it this exact name, and add the path and just save it. Open your browser, refresh it, and you will be able to see the image and exactly the same thing which I am able to see. So I guess we should, okay, done now. Image also visible. Great, great. Okay, let's move ahead. Now that it is not at all attractive and it is just plain vanilla text. Okay, so let's go to some creativeness, right? Kalakruti करते हैं. We'll go to the CSS file now, and let's start decorating our page. So basically, let's just go and recall what all tags we have. We have a body tag, we have a section tag, we have a division tag. See, I told you that we have given various class names, right? So each of the class name will contain some basic properties of css which will style the html page, right? So let's just see what we have. Body here, we have section, division, h1, h3, then image and everything. So we have a lot of tags here. Let us decorate every single one of them. So even for decoration, what I'll do is I'll just copy paste some of the code, and even this code is available with you in that same link. I'll show in just a minute. Okay, I've just copy pasted this and saved it. What you can do is just go to the link which I provided, and instead of the index.html, just click on this portfolio you are seeing here and go to style.js. So this is the css file which is the final css file basically, but we are not there yet. So what you do is you just copy paste the body section h1 tags for now. Then we'll move on with the tags as we need them. So just do this: copy body to VS Code, open style.css and paste it in here. And just let me know if you have done it. Just write copied or something in your chat box. Could you please repeat after what to do after pasting images? Okay, Himanshu, just save the file and go to your browser. You must have opened the portfolio website, the blank page already, and refresh it. So you'll be able to see the image there. Copy done. Okay, I'll just wait for 1 more minute. Anish is asking difference between section and division tag. So there's not much difference between them, and it is your homework. Actually, we will be giving you some tasks. So this is one of your tasks to find out the difference between section and division tag. What to copy? Please repeat. Okay, Shashwat, I will just show you again. Once you go to the link I have provided to you, you'll be in index.html. But just type, just click on the portfolio. Word, basically tab, and once you're here you'll see style.css. Click on it and just copy from body to h1. Copy it, then go back to the VS Code editor, open style.css and just paste it here. Nothing much. I hope it's clear now. Let's see, is it clear? Okay, let's just move ahead. Yeah, so as soon as I save this style.css, let's just go. I'm so sorry. Yeah, let's just go and see what happens. Boom. This is a completely different page we are seeing, right? The background color is suddenly black, and the font also changed, if you noticed, right? So now we have added the fonts in that CSS code. That's why they've changed, and the background color is also black. And it the text shifted a little bit. If you notice, it was at the very top left corner, but it shifted a little to the right, and now it is a little bit prettier. Not as pretty as we want it to be, but yeah, still it's better than before, right? So I'll explain what happened here exactly. So the syntax of the CSS is, as we showed in the PPT earlier. It's nothing but we have to write the element name, and then in curly braces we have to define what the properties of the CSS. So the properties are many different properties available in CSS. So we just have to select one property and give its particular value what we want. Okay, so we want some particular font to be displayed on our web page for consistency, right? So we just typed in font family colon, and font family is a property. It is something which we want to define. Okay, and this poppins is a value. It is the value of the property. So one property may have various options for a value, and we have to select from one of it. So in this particular one, we want the font to be of poppins family. That's why we have given the value as poppins. Okay, then we have given the property margin and set its value at 0 because we don't want margin. Then we have declared one more property for the whole body of the HTML page, which is the color. Now, color basically is the color of the text and everything which will be writing on that in the body of the HTML web page. So it is white, and we have defined the background color as black. So we have basically chosen a dark theme, and we have created the page, the body of the HTML page with background color black and the text on it as white, so that we'll be able to read it. So this is very simple and basic. Then we created the section tag, if you remember. So in that section tag, what we have done is we have again given the margin property, and we have set it to auto this time. Then we have given the width of that particular section as 80%. So as I said, the text shifted from the top left to a little right. This is the reason why it did so, because we have given the width of the section as 80% of the whole screen. So basically it will only consume the 80% of the screen, and 20% percent is remaining. That's why some blank space in the left and the right was left. It was the 10% on each side. Then there's padding. We have also added some padding. So basically what padding does is it adds some additional space between the edges of the section. So I'll just show you. Let's do border as solid. This I'm doing this just to show you. Border color, let's say red. You don't have to type this actually. I'm just showing this so that you'll be able to see. So as you can see, this is our section. This is what we created as the section, and we have given it a border, and it's the red color border. Now you can see there's a little space between the hello and this particular margin, the border, right? So this particular space is the padding. It's everywhere. We have given the padding like here also between the image and this. So it's from all four sides. So that is what basically the padding does. It creates some space between the section and the writing. So I'll remove this because we don't really need it. It looked weird, right? And if I refresh, then it's. So after that, we have also created H1 tags, right? So basically we have nothing but given the font size. So for the first one, I want 50 pixel size, and then pixels, and then for the second H1 tag, I want 40 pixels. So we have just defined that. It's just the size of the text, nothing else, literally nothing else. So this is what we see here basically. And yeah, so that's what we have done till now. I hope there are no doubts. If there are any, just go ahead and ask. Clear till now? Say yes or no, please. Okay. Unable to refresh page, Himanshu, that's a problem of your browser. I can't help you with that, sorry. Yes, perfect. Okay, all right, great. So we'll move forward now. As I mentioned earlier, we have also named some class here, but we have never defined them, right? So basically, our HTML page is like, okay, you have given a name, a particular name of the class, but what exactly does it do? I don't know, because it's not defined anywhere. So let's go ahead and define these classes actually. So for this, again, I have some, let's just delete this. I have some code pre-written in it. And what all we need, let's just check. We need top banner and flexible container, right? Let's find top banner and flexible container. Here we got top banner. We'll just copy paste it here. Then we need flexible container. This is the same exact code which I showed you in that particular link, style.css. I have just copied it here also for convenience, for my own convenience actually. So you can go on that particular link and copy paste it. Half width, and what else did we need again? Flexible container. Okay. Flexible. I'm just copy pasting this code. I will be explaining it, don't worry. Then orange color also is needed, right? Let's see. Orange color, then link button also, no? Yeah. Link button, here it is. Yep. So what you can do is go to that link which I mentioned. Okay, is there any? Yes, wait just a minute. See, so go to that particular site I provided earlier. You will still be in style.css. Just do one thing: copy from this orange color to top banner, the end of top banner. Just copy paste all of this code, copy it and paste it in the VS Code in the style.css. Is it clear now, Rupert? What does have to do after copying body in style.css? What do we have? Sanya, for now, just save the file and I'll be explaining it in just a moment. Let everybody copy it first. Let me know after you have copied it. Okay, copied, done. Copied, okay. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask, okay? We all are here to help you. Done, copied. All right, okay, let's move ahead then. After you copy it, make sure that you save your file after every change you make, because if as soon as you save it, it will be reflected in your web page, or else it will not be reflected there. So, and you'll be confused that, oh, I write the code, but it's not showing. What's the problem? Just save it, Control S, and let's just go here and refresh. Okay, wow. So this is looking even more nice now, right? So what happened, basically this image shifted from below to the right side, and what happened, okay, this find me changed from a very plain text to a very attractive button like structure with a gradient and all, and the color of my name also changed, right? Let us see what we did in the CSS file. So I believe we had done till H1. Yep. Now top banner. So basically this top banner, okay. So first of all, you'll now notice one small difference here, that here we have just written H1 and then curly braces. But here we have, what we have done is we have written dot and then the name of the class, that is top banner. And I'll show you where we have define, yeah, we have just defined this, yeah, declared this, sorry. So we have used it here in this section tag, and now we are basically describing the particular class. So why do we have to add a dot here but not in front of this h1 or section or body? Does anybody has any idea? You can write in the comments. Mokshada when is asking when you providing recording. Just focus on the lecture for now. We will be providing the recording. Don't worry. So anybody? Okay, so I'll repeat the question. I said that while we were describing body section or H1 CSS tags, so basically we just wrote body, then curly braces, and defined it. But when I am defining this top banner class, then I am just adding a dot in front of it. So why am I doing this? Any idea? It's like calling a function from a class. Um, Then why are we not doing it in the H1 tag? Body of section for HTML tags. Okay, yes, exactly, Hiram. So body and section are predefined HTML tags, right? So that's why we don't have to add a dot in front of them. But this top banner is a customized class which we are creating, right? So it is our own class. It has nothing to do with HTML language itself, right? We are creating it. So that's why we have to add this dot. This is the syntax for defining a user created class. So I have what I've done is background repeat, no repeat. So there's no repeating of the background color and all. Then box sizing, we have added a border box. Then after that, the color again we have chosen to be white and the background color as black because we want the background black and the text to be white. So this is the top banner class. After that, in this section only, we have added a flexible container. Let us see what flexible container is. Okay, this is an interesting one. So flexible container, in it we have display flex and then margin 150. So okay, what this display flex does is, let's see, we had a section, and if you remember, the section is this rectangular space, and everything we wrote came one after the other in the same like one line after the other. But we want this picture to be side by side with the text, right? So what we basically do is we create a column like structure, like I'll show you it. We will add a border to it again. I should not have deleted that part, right? Border color red again. Yeah. So this is our section, and what happened first was this image was find me, but as we have written in the code, like it came one after the other, like according to the order which we had given earlier. But now I want this image to be displayed on the right side. So what this flex will do is basically it will divide this whole rectangular section in flex boxes basically. So it will create a column. It will divide the section in two parts, and actually we can divide the particular section in as many parts as we want, as many flex boxes as we want, but for now we just want two columns here, one for the text, one for the image. So we are just creating this one line here. Basically we are creating two columns in this one section. In this box we are just creating two columns, and in one column we'll be writing the text, and in the second column we want the photo to be added. So by defining this display flex, we are just doing, where did it go? Yeah, in by this display flex it will do nothing but create these two columns, basically create a line between the section, and thus create two columns for us to write in. So this is very basic and it's all it does. After that, it has a margin bottom of 150 pixels. So we have added some margin to this flexible container basically, and it is of 150 pixels. And margin bottom means that but of course that it is from the bottom side only, not from all the four sides. Nothing different. Then we have given half width class to this first division. Now if you notice, all of the text is in the first division, and only the image is in the second division, and that is why the image only went to the right side of the section. So basically the display flex, it what it did was it just considered this as one column, this division, and this other division as another column. That's why the image went to the right side of the section. So in this first section what we have is half width, and we have all the text in it. So let's see what half width is. Okay, so here it is. Half width is so width of that section is basically 50%. Then we have added some padding to the left, which is 5%, and text align justify. So this is very basic, like I just explained what padding is. You must have also used in it Microsoft Word or something like that. So we can align the text in at the left of the box, or at the right, or in the middle, or we can just justify it. So it's just what we have defined here. Then after that, what we have done is orange color. Okay, so in that span we have written my name, and if you notice that my name is written in orange color. So let's see what we have done in that particular class. I guess I have, yeah. Nothing, literally nothing. Just we have given the color as orange. As earlier we had given it white, but now we want it orange. So we have given the color of that particular span to orange. So that's why that my name is in easy, right? After that, what we have done is we have added one that find me fancy looking button, right? So how have we made it fancy looking? Let's see. The class is link button, right? Go to link button. Yeah, here the text decoration is done. We don't want the text to be decorated. Then background image. Okay, so this is important. Okay, the background image basically it is an anchor tag, right? So it will be a particular let's say rectangle in which that find me will be written in. So for that we need some background. So what we have done is we have added the background image as the linear gradient. I'll show you. So see, if you observe this find me very carefully, you'll see that it's a light yellow-ish shade, and then it goes from that yellow to orange as we move down. So that is what we call gradient, and it's increasing linearly. So that's why we call it linear gradient. So it's just English word. So that's the literal meaning of it, and we just have to specify that from which color to which color we want the gradient. So basically we have provided two colors, one orange and the other is tomato. So it moves from orange to tomato as we have specified. Nothing different in it, it just looks very fancy and good. Then we have provided the color of the text as white. Then font weight 700. We can choose the font weight as bold, and we can basically thicken the font like we do it bold and all. So it's just that font weight. Then we have added some padding. You know what padding is now. Yes, okay. I'll show you what border radius is actually. It will be clearer to you. If I remove this particular, I will, yeah, comment it out. And if I refresh it, do you find any difference here? After I refreshed it, you must have found something different in this find me button, right? So can you tell me what that difference was? Just type in the comments. Yes, exactly. I just became yes, exactly. Yep. Nice observation, guys. So exactly that is what happened. So basically, border radius means that we are giving some radius to the border, so it gets curved. So here we have specified 5 pixels, and that is why it's getting a little bit curved. Now I will go back to the original state, refresh, and yes, I have gotten this. This just looks a bit more fancier, you know. So that's why we have given some border radius. And what I did just slash and it turned green, right? So you must be wondering what that was all about. So I'll show what it was. So now I don't want the particular red border to the section, this red colored border. We don't really need it. So let's just comment it out. By comment it out, what I mean is, um, comments is basically the literal meaning, like the English meaning that we comment something. Now when we are developing some web application, it may happen that we need to specify some, we don't really need it on our web page, or we don't really want it to be displayed in our code or anything, but we need that for our own information. For example, I will just write one comment. I'll say this is the section part and then close the comment. So what happened is, now if I'm reading this code after a long time, or if let's say one of you are reading the code and you are reading it for the first time, so if this is written here that this is the section part, then you'll be right, okay, this is the section part and this is the CSS of the section part, and okay, so this is defined like that. So comment basically it does nothing. It literally does nothing. It doesn't affect the code. It doesn't affect the HTML part, or the web page or anything. It is just a English language comment which we write so that when a developer is reading your code, it will be easier for them to just analyze the code, like what is this part explaining, why is this part written, or something like that. So the syntax for commenting something in CSS is, you have to just type in a forward slash and asterisk, and you have to close the comment with the exact opposite, like first asterisk and then forward slash. So this is the work of the comment, nothing else. It is just a piece of information which does not affect the code. It is just there for the understanding of the developer. So let's just the comment be there. I will comment this code out. We don't need it right now. Yeah. I hope that comments are like clear to you. Just say yes or no in the chat box. Yes. Okay. Okay. Great. You are really sharp. Yeah. So let's just go back to our web page. Yeah, I've refreshed it. This is how it looks. Now let's move ahead with our code. Okay. Have we imported half width here? I guess we have. Yeah, half width we have already imported here. Let's just go to the next part of our HTML code. I will be doing the same thing as you guys will be doing. I'll be copy pasting the code. Then let's go to index.html. We have copied the first section. Let us go to the second section, and I will copy paste the second section now from starting to end. You also do it simultaneously with me. And let's after this first section, I'll paste the second one and save it. So let's just increase our pace now, guys. The basics are done, because so copy paste it as soon as you can and make it a little bit faster, and write in the chat box if you have done it. You have done it. Okay. Abhijit, you just have to go to the link. Now you have to click on portfolio, then go to index.html, and you have copy pasted the first section. Now you have to just copy paste the second section of the code, and after you have copied here, you just have to paste it below this section. So below this, you just have to paste it, nothing else. After you have done it, let's move ahead. Yeah, so I forgot one thing here. In this image tag, I explained the src, but I forgot to explain the alt. So this is nothing but the alternate text. So if it happens that many of you are saying that you couldn't see the image there, right? So if some error with the image occurs, then this alternative text appears in instead of the image. It's showing that okay, my portfolio image should be available here, but it's not due to some error. So that is nothing but the alternate text which appears on the screen, nothing else. Then let's move on to what we have done is we have created another section, then another division, and we have added an image. Now we have imported two, we have actually downloaded or created two images in that folder. So we are just importing the second one here in the same with the same syntax, of course. So we have imported the second image, and after that we have created one division, and in that we have written some text like become a developer in h3 tag, and then yeah, this particular tag is name. So listen to this carefully now. Then this p tag, basically what this p tag is, it's the paragraph tag. So if we want to write some big text like a paragraph, a literal English paragraph, then this is the tag for it. We have created a paragraph tag. We have given it a class, and then we have written some text in it. This is just some reference text. It doesn't mean anything. You have to add your own information there. But for now, you just can copy paste this one, and then we have closed the paragraph tag. Then after that, we have again added one anchor tag, given a class, given target as blank, added one href and written some text. Then we have just closed the HTML anchor tag. So I hope you have copied till now. We have to increase the pace, so do it quickly, please. Abhijit, which part do you want me to repeat again? Abhijit, are you there? All right, let's just move ahead. Okay, yes, done. Great. Great. So I have copy pasted this much. Let's save it and see how our page looks now. All right, it looks pretty good, right? I mean, it's looking really great. We have one image here. Then here we have written become a web developer, and actually this is supposed to be a little bit information about ourselves. And since this is just a template like a portfolio website, you have to customize it, and you have to write your own information here, like what you do, and um basically anything you interesting about you. So about like a typical portfolio, just write your own information. For now, this is just garbage text. So it appeared here, and you'll say how is it already styled and how is it already looking beautiful. We haven't done any css part of this till now. So what we can do is we can just we have already defined these classes here, right? So we can use these classes for more than one tag. So we have used these same classes here. So you will see that we have used half width here. Then you can see half width here also. And then there is used here again. So basically link button is also used here. That's why we can see the fancy button there. So basically once we have defined the class and the properties in it, then we can use it again and again and again as many times as we want in the HTML file. That is why CSS actually saves a lot of time for developers, and the web page also looks very consistent and attractive, right? So this is how it looks for now. Let's go to the CSS part. What we have missed, dream big is not yet defined. Okay, let us define dream big. Let's just copy paste it. So this is the different classes which we have defined, and half image and all I guess we have defined here, but I forgot to mention about. Yeah, so no. Okay, let's go to this dream big class. We can name this class as anything you want, literally anything, like uh, big or dream or anything which is convenient to you, and then we can define it. So in this dream big class, basically what we have done is we have again given background repeat, no repeat, then background position as a right, because we want the position to be at the right of the web page, and then box sizing as the box border box. Okay, so let's just save this and then go again, refresh our page, and let's see. Okay, it looks a little bit fancier, right? See this image just got a little bit bigger, and it adjusted the position. That happened because I just added this image wala class here. I guess I had forgotten. Yeah, see half width image and all. So I just added a little bit of css to these images also. That's why it got a little bit more attractive, and I hope you saw the difference from before and now. And okay, so what we have done here is we have added a anchor tag, and I forgot to mention this earlier. Okay, so the anchor tag basically helps us open a new link in our browser, as I mentioned earlier. So what link are we referring here to? Here also we have used an anchor tag, but what exactly it does, let us see. We'll go to our web page and let's see, this is the find me, and we have used this find me in that anchor tag, right? So let's just click on that, and okay, so as I mentioned that we have given the target attribute as blank, right? That is why it opened in a new tab. This is the difference. So basically, if I click on this find me, it will open that particular specified link in a different tab. So this link was of the LinkedIn basically. So we had provided the LinkedIn link of Shravani here. As you can see, href, it was the LinkedIn profile of Shravani, so it will open there. I have to sign in, and also just let's just skip that part. But yeah, it will, if you have logged in to LinkedIn on your PC, then it will open this particular profile of Shravani Paraswar. And here in the second anchor tag, what we have done is we have given again we have given the target as blank and href as resume.pdf. So where does this resume suddenly come from? So let's again go to our friend, which is that particular link which I had provided to you earlier. So here on the link, then click on the portfolio. You'll see one folder named resume. Just click on the resume folder and you'll see one PDF there. So you can just download the PDF. I hope you are able to see that particular resume folder, right? This is Siki, yes. It's your own site now. You have to customize it. Yeah, okay, so great. What you have to do is, in the same way we created the images folder, just do one little thing. Go in the portfolio folder, create a new folder, name it resume, exact same as I have named it, resume, small letters, no capital letters. Make this folder, and in that folder, just add in this resume file which you have downloaded from that particular. See, this is the resume. You can click here download. It will get downloaded, and just copy and paste it in the resume folder. And do it quickly. Let me know after you have done it. Everybody seems to have done it. Okay, there are many ones. Good, guys. Yeah, so after you have done it, this will be the path of the folder. Like in the portfolio folder, there will be a resume folder, and in that resume folder, there will be one PDF named resume.pdf. So we have given that particular path to this anchor tag, the reference link. And if I go on my website and if I click on this download my resume, it will redirect me to this to that particular PDF which we have mentioned in our HTML code. So this my browser is a little slow today, I don't know why, but you will see the whole PDF, the resume PDF here. So you'll be able to read it, and then you can download it and do whatever you want. So this is how you will be able to show the your resume to whoever is on your site, whoever is looking at your site. So this is the resume part. I hope everything is clear till now. Just let me know if you are able to see the resume. Just type yes, and hurry up guys, because we are having time constraints today. Yep. Okay. Yes. Great, guys. So you all can see it. Let's move on to the next part of the code. Not much is remaining now. All right. So we have done resume. Then what we have done? Okay. Yeah, so now the experience part is remaining. Again, go to the same link, go to index.html. I hope now you know how to go to that particular index.html file. Then just go to the section which is experience. Like we have copied till this resume wala section. Just copy the section below that, copy the whole section, and just paste it in your HTML file below the previous section. I hope this is not a difficult task for you now. You have done it twice already. So just copy it. I'll wait for just 1 minute and then we'll move forward. I'll repeat if you want actually. Just go to the link I've provided. You will find index.html there. In that, you have a copy till section, this my resume section already. So below that, you will see section with class experience area. Copy from there and copy till the end of the section. After you have copied, just come back to your VS Code and paste it below the previous section. That's all. And save the file. Don't forget to save it. And just let me know if you have done it. Done copying. All right. Yes, quite fast. Everybody else done. All right. Great, great, great. Okay. So once I've saved this, I'll go to my website. I will refresh it. And wow, I have experience here. Now you will say, okay, this is like not that bad, but it is not very attractive too, right? I mean, it's not very distant or it's not like looking very cool or anything. So wait, we will go to the CSS part too, but you should be able to see this experience. Then we have added two experiences basically. So as you go on doing internships and all, so you will be able to add your experience here, or even if you have any certifications, you can add it here. You have to customize it as your own. So for now we have a full stack web developer experience and web dev in XYZ company. So this is again some garbage text. You have to write about your own experience here. Let's just customize it and make it look even more cool and sick. Okay, so let's go to our CSS file and let's just copy what all we need. Let's check first what all we need. We need a lot of here. um yeah, experience area, flexible container, full stack experience, then experience item, and web dev experience item. All right, let's just copy paste all of this. Okay, I will first of all copy experience item here and paste it. All right. So what basically this experience item does is it sets the width to 40%. It gives some margin, left margin, right margin, which is 5%. Then we have also given some padding, left padding, right padding, 30 pixels. Then border radius. Now you know what border radius is, right? It will give the curve edge to the box. Then box shadow. You'll see what box shadow is in just a bit. I'll show you. And then text align, justify, then color is white, background color is black. So this is all. Now you know everything. So let's just save this. And in this HTML code, okay, now focus here. What we have done is, this is a little bit different from what we've been doing right now. Okay, so here in this div, we have added one attribute called id. So what is this id? It is basically the same as your class roll number. So like we have to different we have many divisions here, right? This is one div, this is one div, and then this is one another div. But I want to differentiate all these three divs separately. So how can I do that? So for that, we basically assign a particular id to every element. We can do it. We have not done it earlier because we don't really need it, but for this particular division we will need the id. So we have given some id to it, and we can give the id anything, like any text you want, any number you want, but it should be in the quotations. So for this we have given the id as web dev experience. Okay, So basically we can identify this particular division by this particular id which we have given to it in this id attribute. So I guess this is clear. Id is just basically the roll number. Like you may have two Rohits in your class, right? But you want to differentiate both of them, so you give them a roll number, that you are roll number 1, you are roll number 2. So you will be able to differentiate them. So that is how basically the id works. And now we will just do one thing. We will copy this full stack experience and paste it. Now just a minute, we will also copy this web dev experience and paste it. So now guys, look at this id carefully. What is this id? Here we have defined given the id as full stack experience, and this id is web dev experience. Okay, and now what I have done is I am also writing something full stack experience and then defining some css properties to it. But you will notice that there is a slight difference in the syntax. For the classes, what we were doing is we were just typing in a dot before the name of the class, right? But for a specific id, we can like give some specific css to a id, but for that the syntax is a hashtag and then the id name. Whatever id we have given earlier, we have to copy in the same one. So here the id is full stack experience. That's why we have just defined it here. But the syntax is we have to write a hashtag and the name of the id, like whatever id we have mentioned, and then we can define it. So basic, we have done it. Border, we have given some border which is 7 pixels. Then border image as again a linear gradient, so you'll be able to see one fancy gradient again. And border image slice as 1. So basically you'll be able to see what that border image slice is in just a bit. And in to this division also we have given some linear gradient, a little bit different, just to make it more attractive. And I have saved this, and let's just go and see what happens here. I'll refresh it. Okay, wow, this looks much cooler, right? So I'll tell you what all we were talking about was shadow. I told you I will show it. So this is the box shadow. You can see the shadow of the box here. It's gray. We can even define the color of that particular box shadow. And we had given a gradient, right? So this is the gradient from purple to orange to purple or something like that we had given. And for blue also we had given. So this looks a lot cooler and fancy basically. So this is more attractive, and it looks like we have put a lot of effort in it, but actually it's literally like 8 lines of code, right? So this is the power of css. It makes our web page looks very attractive, and like we have done a lot in it, but actually it's very easy. So this is basically the border image as in this small strip here. So this is the border image, and we have made it in a gradient and given it shadow and all. So this looks cool and fancy. So you can also do it like you have that link I had provided to you. Go to the css part now, portfolio, css style.css, and just copy the all the remaining whatever remaining is there and paste it in your style.css in VS Code, and just save it and go to your browser, refresh it, and let me know if you can see what I can see on my browser. Do it a little quickly, guys. You just have to copy paste. And if you have any doubts, then just ask me. Done, copied. Okay, done. Yes, it's looking good, no? Okay, I'll wait for 1 minute. Now we're talking. Yeah, done. Looks great. Yep. There's a lot to explore in css. You just have to look it up yourself. Looks great. Okay, much better. Yep. All right, then I'll just move ahead. I guess done with our website now. We have added name here. You have to add your own name here. We have just added my name for the sake of generalizing it. Then we have added a little information about us. Then we have also added our experience here. All right, then good to go. What else do we need in our portfolio website? We need a footer. If you have come across any sites, every site has a header and a footer. So we had done our header long ago, and now it's time for the footer. So let's just go to the HTML file in that particular link GitHub repo. Then come back to our HTML file in the VS Code and paste it below the section. Paste it, then paste the footer below it. I will save the file and let's see what is remaining in the uh, yeah, CSS part. You can copy the whole CSS file now. It's all done. We don't have to add anything else now. So just copy paste the whole CSS file in your particular style.css and save it. And from the index.html, just copy paste the footer part. Everything else is done already. So in the footer, basically, there's usually contact details and like address and mobile number and all, and there's contact form sometimes and copyright. So basically, I'll explain the HTML code first. There's a special tag called the footer tag for the footer of the web page. Then in that footer tag, what we have done is we have added a paragraph because we need to write some things. Then in that paragraph I've added a button. So this is button is basically what exactly what it means. It's a button, we can click on it and it will perform some function. And okay, so we will get to this on click part in just like 5 to 10 minutes. Just ignore that on click for now, and we have written some text on the button that contact me is written. And then we have added this br tag. So this br tag, what it does is it basically breaks the line. So basically this contact me and this copyright text will appear on two different lines, because if we like write here on the text editor, if I write hi and then on next line if I write hello, then on the web page it will appear on the same line itself. So if we want it to appear in on different lines, we just have to use the br tag. It means the break tag. It is the short form is br. So we have to use the break tag, and then we have just added a copyright here. It's a simple one just to display, like you get an idea of how the copyright is usually. And then I will save it, and let's just go and see how this looks like. Okay, so I have refreshed this page, I have added a footer, and I can see there's this button called contact me, but if I click on it nothing happens. So the reason why nothing is happening is because I have added no functionality to this particular button. So for now it does nothing, literally nothing. I can click on it as many times I want, it will do nothing. And as you can see, the button and the writing are on different lines because of the br tag, and this is just the text which we basically wrote that the copyright. And for the css part, the footer is nothing. It's just that we have added the alignment of the text at center. So you'll realize that okay, the text is aligned at the exact center of the page. So nothing fancy over there. And this experience area h1 is, we have added a padding somewhere in this experience area. I guess I forgot that, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. So yeah, it's just css. You can play around with it as much as you want. So this is basic our website, our portfolio website which we have created. And we will come to this contact me button in just a moment. Just let me know if you have done till this footer part. Let me know yes or no, or if you are facing any difficulty. Done footer. Okay, great. Okay, so we have just a little bit of theory part now, just for the introduction of JavaScript. So Shravani will be taking it. I'll present the PPT just a minute. Yeah. Shravani, over to you.
Yes. So as we can see on the screen, along with HTML and CSS, we also need JavaScript. When we are using very heavy frameworks such as React and other stuff, JavaScripts come into like picture. So as written there, JavaScript is world's most popular, lightweight, interpreted, compiled programming language. It is known as scripting language for web pages. So it is the most famous for web page building. JavaScript is also, there's some other languages such as TypeScript which you can use, but the most commonly used is JavaScript. Next. Yeah. So what can we exactly do using JavaScript? So it is widely used programming languages, and some of the domains or product which can be used using JavaScript are website, web server development. We can do 3D drawings, mobile app development, the smartwatch apps which we see there, they can also be built using JavaScript. There's machine learning libraries, ML5, and many others in JavaScript which can be used largely. Next. Okay, so like any other programming language, like C, C++, Java, anything, we have a syntax for everyone. So this is the syntax for JavaScript. JavaScript is basically written inside the body tag of your HTML page. So you put like two script tags, and inside which the JavaScript code is embedded. As you can see, console.log. So when you inspect your page there inside console.log, you can see your JavaScript code. So there are functions, variables, many things, but let's get forward. Next. So yeah, like any other programming language, JavaScript has its own data types. So JavaScript is dynamically typed language. So there, some languages are dynamically typed language in which like variable names. So suppose we are specifying an integer, we need to write int. If we are specifying a string, we need to write string. But in JavaScript, everything can be initialized using a var variable, and accordingly, like if you inserting a string, the name will be giving the functionality of the string. So that's why it's called as dynamically typed or loosely typed scripting language. So JavaScript variable receive different data types over the time. So data types are basically manipulated. And yeah, so like any other programming languages, the basic data types of ES6 models are number, string, boolean, objects, etc. So yeah, next. Variables. So JavaScript variables are containers that hold reusable data. So it is basically unit of storage in a program, so that we don't need to write it again and again and again. When we initialize a value of x, suppose at the starting of the program, the value will be continued till the end of the program. We don't need to initialize it over and over again. So a variable is only given a name to a memory location. All operations can be done that affects the memory location. In JavaScript, all variables must be declared before they can be used. Next. Yeah, functions in JavaScript. So if you've done coding previously in any of the languages, then like similarly we have functions in JavaScript. So before using a user defined function in JavaScript, we have to create one. We can use the above syntax, like the syntax which is given below. A function definition is sometimes also known as function declaration in JavaScript. So there are many functions, arrow functions, escape, unescape, some inbuilt, some we need to write. Every function must have a return statement. So there's some situation when we don't want to return anything. So this is a completely optional statement which you add to your JavaScript code. All your functionalities are carried inside this function. So this is the basic syntax of the function. Yeah, that's it from my side. Rasika, on to you. So basically,
Yes.
JavaScript is a very vast. We have just introduced JavaScript to you. If you want to learn in depth about it, you can go to some famous YouTubers like Akshay Saini, etc., so that you know more about it. Because if you want to learn frameworks such as React, then a good hold over JavaScript is very necessary. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shravani. We actually recommend you going through some tutorials or documentations of JavaScript because you really need it when it comes to web development. And if you're using frameworks, then you should be comfortable with the basics of JavaScript at least. So Now let's just try to code something in JavaScript. For now, done is HTML. We have used HTML and CSS, but if you can see, the my page is very static. Like it's not returning any value. It's not taking in any input, and basically it's a static page. But if I want to make it dynamic, then I can use JavaScript and embed it in it. So for that, what I can do it just the way we created one CSS file. What we can do is we have to create new, and let's just say app.js. So the extension for JavaScript is JS. So just create a new file called app.js and enter. A new file will be created, and this, and make sure that you are adding it in the same folder. And let's go to the HTML code. Okay, first just create the file and let me know in the comment section. Okay, done, great. So in app.js, we'll be writing some part of the code, but let's just go to this on click button, and let's see what we have written and mentioned here. Button tag, we have just created one attribute. We have mentioned one attribute, and we have given the value as contact, and one opening and one closing bracket. So what exactly is this? So this on click is an attribute, and it literally means what it says. So what will happen when I click on the button? So the function which will take place after I click on that particular button is nothing but this contact. So that's why I am defining the on click as the contact function. But you'll ask, okay, but where is this contact function and what will it do? So for that we need JavaScript. Let's just go to our JavaScript file. Now here I'll be typing out some code. Shravani mentioned that the syntax for defining a function is, oh, sorry. So for defining the function is, write the word function space and name of the function. So here we have already named our function, which is contact. So I'll just copy paste it, because it's very important that the name of the function mentioned in the HTML file matches the name of the function in the JavaScript file. So I'll just copy paste it, and I open the function block with a curly brace. So basically, what this function keyword is telling JavaScript that, okay, this particular block is going to be a function. You have to execute it, and this contact is nothing but the name of the function, and this parentheses. So we call this bracket as parentheses. What this does is, in this we can write any parameters, but right now we are just doing the basics of JavaScript, so we won't be writing in any parameters or assets. But just remember that this particular parentheses exist because we can write some parameters inside it. We can give parameters to that function. That's why the parentheses exists. So let us continue with our function. What I'll do is I'll just create an alert with some text in it. So I hope you all know what an alert is. If not, we'll be seeing it in just a bit. So don't worry about it. So there are two types of functions: inbuilt functions and user-defined functions. So what we did just now, function contact this. This is an user defined function, because we are defining it, we are naming it, we are describing it. So we are basically creating it. That's why it is an user defined function. But JavaScript also provides many inbuilt functions. So one of them is alert. So alert basically alert creates an alert on our web page. You will see what the alert is, and in this parentheses will provide some parameters. So what is that? Will provide a text. So remember that in any programming language, you have to provide the text inside the quotes that are the inverted commas. So inside the quotes only you have to provide your text. So let's just write, we have created the button as contact me, right? So let's just write some contact information about us only. So I will write phone number, and let's say anything, garbage number, I'll create it. And in JavaScript, you have to end any of your code line with a semicolon. So basically, we are telling the interpreter that, okay, this colon means that this is the end of the line. Now, after this, a new line, a new command will be written. But now we are just writing one line, but we have to end that particular line with this semicolon only. It is compulsory, do not forget it. And I will say this. Okay, now I have created a function. I have called the function here. So basically, this is called the calling of a function, because we have described it here in the app.js, and in this index we are calling it. Okay, like when I click the button, we call the function like do your functionality now, because you have been called. So that is what it means. Basically, we have called the function here. Now what we have to do is okay, now we have the function ready, we have called it, but how is HTML supposed to know that where that particular app.js is located, or if it has to fetch something from it? So the same way as we fetch the style.css, we also have to import the app.css. So for that we use the script tag. So basically, script is short for JavaScript in HTML, and we can write script in body also, and then we can write JavaScript code in that script tag. But we have already created a different file for JavaScript, and it's very convenient to do it like that instead of writing the JavaScript code inside the HTML itself. So we will just provide a source for the script. Then SRC, as I said, is short form for source. And then as soon as I give the inverted commas, I get suggestions, which is intelligence. So I want app.js, so I'll give app.js and I will close this tag. So the script tag is closed, and now HTML knows, okay, I have this app.js file and I have to use it. I know its location, and there's this functionality and this on click button, this basically on click attribute, this button will call that function which we have described inside the JavaScript file. And it is the function is doing nothing but just giving an alert. So let's just save everything. I hope this is not too heavy for you. Let's refresh our page, and now if I click on the contact me, see, an alert is created. And what it says is, this page says phone number and that garbage number which we gave. So this is how an alert works, and this is how a function works in JavaScript. So I will just type okay, and the alert will go. If I click on the button again, the alert will show up. So this is basically what alert does. And this is actually not a very good example of usage of alert, because alert is used to show us warnings like one field is remaining in the form, or like you have filled it wrongly or something like that. So it's not basically used for providing information, but to show us any error or something like that. But we just wanted to give you a short you know description, or how does exactly JS can be embedded in HTML pages. So this is how you can do it, and we just wanted to give you an overview. That's why we use the simplest function, that is alert. So I hope you all have done it till now. If you want, I can show you the app.js file. You can type it out or copy it from that link. Just let me know if it's working for you. Done. Yes. The alert is showing, right? Yes. Cool, cool. Do you have any doubts related to functions, or how the on-click attribute, or JavaScript related to that? You can ask. Is it work? The alert is shown. Great, great. Okay, so you all have gotten the alert too. So that is it from our side for today. So this is our portfolio website. We say hello, then we tell them what our name is. We paste a picture of ourselves here. We show off our skills here. Then we give our LinkedIn profile. Then we describe ourselves a little. We provide them with our resume. Then we tell them about our experience, that we have worked in this company as this role, and we describe the roles. And then there's copyright, and a little contact me JS basically we used here. So this is our website for today. Now if you have done with this much part, then I guess we are done for today's session, but we have a task, or you can say homework for you. What you have to do is you have to look white color. Aryan, your contact me button looks white. Okay, this might be because you forgot to add CSS to it. Contact me button looks okay. So basically there's not error or anything in cases. I have added this button tag. So I have defined it, and I have basically given it color as white and background color as black. That is why it's showing my for me it's showing black, and you may not have added. That's why for you it's not showing black. Nothing else. There's no error or anything. So don't worry. You can customize it if you want. What to do for the actual Anushka, as I said, the path of your images is not properly given, so it's probably wrong. Just check if it's written properly and the path is correct. Yeah, so the task for you basically now is you have to create a contact me form at the bottom of your portfolio website, and you have to use JavaScript to take inputs in the form, and you have to explore on your own, because I'll give you a tip that uh, as a developer, nobody is going to spoon feed you. You have to learn on your own. You have to explore as much as you can. There's so much more to JavaScript. There's so much more to CSS also. So just go on explore. You can just type on Google that CSS properties or CSS attributes, and you'll get a lot of resources available for you. So go on internet, explore, and try different things on your portfolio website. But your basic task for this particular session is that you have to create a contact me form at the bottom of your portfolio website, and you have to use JavaScript to take inputs. And one more task is that you have to actually fill your original information here, not this my name, and you have to add in your own photo. So this is your task for this particular session. Is that clear? And if you face any doubts during the task, or even like Anushka is still facing doubt, if you don't clear it, you can anytime ask it on the group. We are all here to help you. Will definitely help you. And one more tip from my side: before asking anybody else, even your friends or someone else, just go on the internet, go on Google. You have a lot of resources. Just type in whatever your error is, and you will definitely get solutions, many solutions. If you don't understand anything or you are stuck somewhere, then we are always there to help you. But try exploring on your own. What about form are you taking? I assume you're asking what firm I'm talking about. So, Rugved, if you go on any portfolio website, we usually have a contact me form in which you have name, then your message, something like if I visit your portfolio website and I want to contact you, or I want to share something with you, then I will write a message like maybe my name and then some message for you. So you just have to create a little form in which there will be some input fields wherein the user will be able to type in information, and then you'll be able to take in the information using like Google form. No, Shruti, not like Google. I mean, the working is essentially the same, but you don't have to that you have to basically create the form UI in HTML and the working the backend in JavaScript. You can do one thing. You can go to some portfolio websites. You can visit some portfolio website. If you go on Google, you will find good portfolio websites, and then you can check them out. Then you will get a better idea of what a contact me form is basically. And actually we will provide some on the group also if you want, but you can also go on Google and just look for some portfolio website and see what a contact me form is, and you have to implement it. If you have any doubt, you can ask on the group. You can also change some CSS if you want and add some more fancy things. It's not that difficult. You just have to explore on your own. And if you have, ask us. So, any more doubts? No. Okay.
Okay, cool. Uh, it was a very informative session, and I hope you guys learned something new today. Uh, okay, how and where to access recorded meetings and so forth. So we will be uploading recording on YouTube, but it will take some time. And once it's uploaded, we will share the link on the so don't worry about it. And one more thing, guys, the next session of this bootcamp will be on React, which is a JavaScript framework. And for that, you need to be familiar with JavaScript. So Rasika introduced you to JavaScript functions and how you can declare variables and functions. So but you need a few more things, like you need some base to get started with React. So I found some nice tutorials for you. I'll share a link. So go to this link. So basically, this is a tutorial by Free Code Camp. And since you are aware of HTML, CSS, you can start with JavaScript now. So just keep in mind that before coming to React sessions, you go through the curriculum and you just perform the small exercises given here, and they are very basic. If you start with any of the tutorials, you will see to it that they have given small example before the actual question, and based on that they have asked you a similar question and you have to solve it. And upon completion of this course, you will also earn a certificate from Free Code Camp. So so it's a win-win. So go and start doing it. And if you face any difficulties, they have also provided answers to it. So no worries. And I think, yep, that's it from our side. And also, if you I think Rasika shared the GitHub link too, so you can download the current project from GitHub too, if you faced any difficulties while writing the code in the session. And yep, so that's it from our side, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll convey the next session details on the notification groups and on the Instagram handle. So stay tuned, and thank you so much, guys.
And do complete the task which is given to you. It will really help you yourself, to explore more about CSS and JS.
Yes. And once you have completed your portfolio website, do share the screenshots with us.